Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, and we got a huge victory at the southern border. A federal judge has blocked the bumbling Biden administration's continued efforts at erasing the border by issuing a restraining order preventing federal officials from cutting through razor wire installed by Texas authorities along the southern border. Last week, Texas officials, led by the amazing Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who vile Bushite Republicans tried but failed to impeach to their everlasting shame. But Texas officials filed a lawsuit against the Biden administration, accusing the administration of undermining the state's border security efforts and damaging Texas's ability to effectively deter illegal entry into its territory. As many of you know, a few weeks back, Texas Governor Greg Abbott formally invoked Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3 of the U.S. Constitution, which gives the right to every state to declare actual war if they're invaded. You may not know, but individual states can actually declare war. It's not a power solely reserved for the federal government. It's an inherent part of the separation of powers in our federalist system. States do not need Congress's approval. It doesn't even have to have an army invading it. Some of the founding fathers, like James Madison, explicitly stated that Article 1, Section 10 can be invoked against smugglers, right? Madison specifically cited Virginia using its militia to stop smugglers as an example of a valid exercise of the invasion powers. Again, the principle is simply one of state sovereignty. If the sovereignty of a state is being violated, that state has the right to declare war on an individual basis without congressional approval. And if this is not a violation of state sovereignty in Texas, if this isn't an invasion that would have horrified Madison and our founding fathers, then the term is frankly meaningless. So Governor Abbott sent an official letter to bumbling Biden informing him that the state of Texas has asserted its right as a sovereign state to invoke Article 1, Section 10, and that they are now taking all necessary measures to stop this flow of illegal immigration that's crossing the borders by the hundreds of thousands per month. As such, Abbott deployed the Texas National Guard, the Texas Department of Public Safety, and local law enforcement to man the border. And as part of that, Texas officials began installing marine barrier installations along the Rio Grande River, which consists of orange buoys with webbing to prevent people from swimming underneath it. And they began filling in gaps between the border walls with massive cargo containers and barbed wire so as to prevent illegal crossings. But freaking bumbling Biden, the incontinent in chief, actually ordered federal agents to cut the razor wire, cut through the razor wire so as to provide an opening for migrants to illegally cross the border. I mean, they're not even trying to hide it at this point. The chaos at the southern border is so deliberate. It is a deliberate abdication of the president's law enforcement responsibilities, and how he has not been impeached over this is beyond me. I guarantee you, if the Republicans showed Americans the active steps Biden has been taking to encourage and facilitate illegal crossings of our southern border by the multi-millions, they'd support his impeachment in a heartbeat, overwhelmingly. But these D.C. Republicans are too stupid, they're too corrupt, many of them actually support open borders, and they're too cowardly to do it. They're just beyond pathetic at this point. And by the way, if you're outraged and discouraged by the swamp in D.C., you have got to join me and thousands of patriots at this year's TexitCon. That's right. From November 9th to 12th, my team and I will be joining thousands of patriots in Waco, Texas, for a week of celebrating faith, family, and freedom in a movement that promises to be an arc for patriots if things go awry for us in 2024. So I'll be doing a live meet and greet at this year's conference and hope to see as many Texas Turley talkers as possible. Let's set a new attendance record and show the rhinos and woke demons in D.C. that patriots have had enough. And we are going to preserve a society of faith, family, and freedom one way or another. Click on that link in the description below to get your tickets now, and I'll see you all in Waco. I want to give a big shout out to our good friend Red Eagles Politics for an excellent analysis of Trump's massive surge in the state of Texas. Recent polling from the University of Texas, which accurately predicted election outcomes in both 2020 and 2022, shows Trump with a near 10-point lead over Biden, a lead that's absolutely deflating any hopes that the Democrats have of turning Texas blue anytime soon. Needless to say, among the issues that are resonating most with Texas voters is the border crisis and illegal immigration. The majority of Texans obviously see Trump as the ideal candidate to tackle these challenges effectively, and that's only going to further solidify the state as solid red. Again, that's exactly what we saw in 2020 and 2022. Texas has only gotten more red, not less. And the disaster at the southern border is being used as an excuse for once loyal Democrats to abandon ship and join up with the Republicans. So most recently, we talked about Clayburgh County Attorney Kira Talib Sanchez, who announced that she was switching parties to become a Republican after serving as a Democrat for the last 8 years. And she cited precisely the insanity at the southern border as a reason for switching parties. And she's not alone. A number of Democrat politicians in Texas have switched parties precisely because of the insanity at the southern border. And on top of that, much of southern Texas, particularly the Rio Grande area, that was always reliably blue, being 80% Latino, that's been turning red of late as well. So all of this means is that, ironically, it's Biden's deliberate incompetence, perhaps more than anything else, that's turning Texas and more of the nation deep red. Whoever knew that we'd have an incontinent in chief to thank for it? Are you ready to join the resistance? Because I'm leading a group of dedicated, courageous patriots who can lead a spearhead into the heart of the secular globalist establishment. We punished Bud Light and Target, driven CNN and the legacy media to near bankruptcy, forced BlackRock to backtrack on ESG, and now we're seeing our conservative-dominated Supreme Court ending affirmative action and protecting religious liberty. In my Insiders Club, I show you concrete steps to take locally and online that will only keep this mass uprising going until the battle is won. Don't wait. Click the link in my description below and join my Courageous Patriots Insiders Club today.